Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. As usual, I'll be giving just 1 minute to allow you guys to come in before we start the business of the day. Um, Within the 1 minute I will be giving, just want to say a shout out to each and every one of you out there. How have you guys been? Those working at home, remotely, how has it been? And those in the office, those on break, those caught up in traffic. Hope the weather is treating each and every one of you well. Today is a good day, Wednesday afternoon. I bet you we have a lot of good things for you. Just sit tight and flow according to the tune of our presentation. Well, like I said 1 minute ago, I'll be giving just a minute. Again, I will just take it off from here, even as people keep joining us. Good afternoon once again, and welcome. For those of you guys that are joining us for the first time, my name is Guy Esahaya, and I'm a training coordinator with the Temple Small Business Development Center. At the Temple Small Business Development Center helps small business start and grow. We offer free one-on-one consulting and a variety of low to no cost webinars. We are proud to be part of the nationally accredited network of the Small Business Development Centers, which has over 1,000 networks across the United States. We're here this afternoon for a webinar on marketing on the shoestring. A copy of the PowerPoint and a link to the recording will be sent to all the attendees. Being a webinar, all the attendees have been muted. However, we always encourage you guys to drop your questions on the Q&A or the chat box. Without further ado, please allow me to welcome our wonderful speaker, Cassie and Janice, who is here to moderate any questions that comes up in the chat or the Q&A section. Once again, allow me to welcome Cassie, even as she takes over the floor for the presentation. Cassie, you're welcome.
Thanks, Garba. Thanks, everyone, for joining us today on Marketing on a Shoestring. I am definitely excited to talk about free things that you can use. I'm a big proponent on all the different digital tools you can use for free for a small business. So this is really a good combination of those tools that I'm excited to talk about. So a little bit about me. So my background has been in property management for 5 years, training sales teams and managing apartment complexes. Then I transitioned to consulting and have been doing that for a while. And now I specialize specifically in SEO, or search engine optimization, social media, and pretty much everything digital marketing. And so I love to talk about digital marketing and the free tools that are offered to small businesses. So I'm very excited to talk about today's tools. I have an undergrad in business and a master's and MBA in business as well. If you have any questions about Temple, about how it's a center of excellence for digital transformation, any of our training programs, or anything about digital marketing, please reach out to me. I'd love to talk further about it. Temple Small Business, or Temple University Small Business Development Center, is hosted by the business school, the Temple Fox Business School, and has been serving small businesses of Philly, Eastern Montgomery, and Lower Bucks counties since 1983, actually. Our mission at the Temple SBDC is to provide entrepreneurs and small business owners with the knowledge needed to make smart business decisions and to grow. Temple's Small Business Development Center is funded by the SBA, the Small Business Administration, the Department of Community and Economic Development, and the Temple University Fox School of Business. Our center is actually part of a network that helps create a new business every 26 minutes. Fun fact. And so we're very proud to be a part of that. We also aim to be a place where all members of our small business community can grow, develop, and thrive. We prioritize diversity, equity, and inclusion to ensure that everyone is part of a positive, open-minded, and respectful environment. This environment enables us to value differences, encourage meaningful growth, and learn from different perspectives from our community. This and the following slide that you'll see show some of our services. One of our main services is no-cost business consulting. So that's free business consulting. This slide in particular outlines how to sign up to receive our services, as well as examples of what we can assist you with, such as crafting a business plan, marketing plans, market research, e-commerce, starting a website, capital assistance. So those are just a few of those things. You will get this PowerPoint and a recording of this after the presentation, and so you can refer back to this slide. Some of our other services revolve around providing additional resources and training, such as our webinars, like the one you're on today, resource sharing, and clinics, such as our legal clinic. That is a semester-based legal clinic. So here are a list of some of our upcoming webinars just for the month of August, but we have some that are throughout the year on various things. And if you're interested in looking at all of those, you can simply click where it says more events and sign up here. And so you can click that here button and you will see the full list, or you can go to our Temple SBDC website. So before we start our agenda, if you have questions throughout this, please put them in the Q&A. Janice will be monitoring the Q&A and will answer some questions or stop me to answer some questions as we go along. So feel free to put your questions there. Our agenda for today is to start talking about how to market on a budget. As a small business, you don't have a huge budget like maybe some larger businesses. We'll talk about where to get started, how to design your content on a budget, and then maybe how to schedule your content on a budget, and then some other useful tools that kind of fall into not necessarily designing or scheduling, but a few extra tools that are helpful. After that, we'll talk about some next steps and do some final Q&A for questions that weren't able to be answered during the presentation. So first, let's start with marketing on a budget. Now, one great description, I love this description of marketing. It was outlined in the New York Times where it says, marketing is the art of telling stories so enthralling that people lose track of their wallets. And if you look at this graphic, it also shows some different areas that make up marketing, such as strategy, social media, research, pricing, and more. So marketing really is kind of a very large term and encompasses a lot of things. But I do like the way that the New York Times wraps it up by saying that it's so enthralling that people lose track of their wallets. I just think that's very funny. So first, when starting a business and operating off of a shoestring marketing budget, there's always that one all-important question: how can I conserve money but still bring in results? The U.S. Small Business Administration recommends that the average small business invest 7 to 8% of gross revenue in marketing and advertising. There are many ways to accomplish this on a budget, and we outline a few of these on the slide, such as blogs. That's a free way to market. Presence on YouTube and social media. Those are some other free ways to market. Cross-promoting with partners, maybe other small businesses that you can, partner with to cross-promote your products or services. User-generated content. So maybe clients that you have done some good projects for in the past or have sold some good products to in the past can put some content on the internet about you, showing how good your services or products are. And lastly, using free tools, which is something we'll get into today. So in order to start, you want to focus on creating a marketing plan, which should be the first step in creating a marketing program for your business. You want to first define your strategy, and to do this, focus on networking by going where your market is. Looking at direct marketing, you can use sales letters, brochures, and flyers and advertising in areas that your market is, or where they shop, or where they physically go. using that print media. You can also think about, you can also think about training programs maybe, or educational ways that you can kind of become an expert on the subject. So by giving training programs or writing articles to kind of show that you're an expert on that subject, and then posting those to your website and other online content, you can show that you're an expert in that area and build your business name in that regard. You can also do direct personal selling. You can do publicity or press releases. Other ways are trade shows and your website. So those are some areas that you can get started. Now, there are a lot of tools to help you with making all this content and all those different places I talked about. And I'll go over a lot of those today. Seems a little overwhelming how many tools can be out there. So today I'm going to kind of go through some that I find are some of the best ones to use. So first, we'll start with designing your marketing content. What are some good tools for designing your marketing content? One tool that I love using for both personal and for work is Canva. Canva is a graphic design platform, and it's used to help with creating social media graphics. So if you're trying to help make some graphics for posts to like Facebook or Instagram, this is a really good tool for that. You can also make brochures on here. You can make flyers, posters, other documents, and visual content. So there are a lot of different templates that you can use for making a large variety of marketing items. The platform is free to use, and so it's free to use, and there are some paid subscriptions like Canva Pro, but you can use it for free, and there is a lot that you can do with just the free platform. It's actually really easy to use, and it's known for that ease of use, and it's known for having thousands of template options. So there is a lot that you can do on here. The only time that you'll need to pay is when you use one or more of the premium images that they sell. So maybe you want to use one of the specific images on there and it's not free. You can pay for like one of those images just individually if you like. Here's an example of what Canva looks like. This is an example of how to wash your hands poster. Maybe this would be something you'd create to post in the business bathroom, for example. Here is an example showing some functionalities Canva has, like adding photos to something that you create. Like say you're creating a brochure and you want to add some photos. You can choose from stock photos that they have already on Canva, or you can upload your own. So if you have a picture on your desktop, you can upload your own picture here. You can also change fonts. So you can change in and out of different fonts, different colors, different text. And so these kind of show you what that looks like and just the different functionalities you can have on Canva. You can even play with some color palettes. So if you want to save, a color palette, maybe you found a template that you like for a brochure, but you're not really loving the like blue color scheme. And so you just want to change the color scheme, but keep everything else the same. That's a functionality you have on Canva. You can even add videos and music from here as well. Another functionality is you can connect it to social media. So for example, if you want to be able to post to Facebook and Instagram directly from Canva, you can do that. And so these are just some of the functions you have with Canva. Now, another tool that is great for Canva in creating marketing content related to colors is it's colors.co. And so that is something that you can use in addition with Canva. Now through Canva Pro, that's the paid version, you're able to present your brand, font, colors, and logo in order to create a unified look across the designs you can create. So essentially you can create your own branded look and save that for later. Now this is the one area where you can't do it for free, but that is something to know about, that you can create custom color palettes and custom fonts and save that as a brand kit. This shows how Canva can assist you in increasing your online presence. It can help you create social media cover photos, graphics, videos, images, all that you can share on like Instagram stories. Also, you can share on Facebook. And so this can be very helpful for social media as well, and helping to increase your online presence. Now, if you're curious on, if I do get a paid version, how much is it going to cost me? Well, you can, like I said, use the Canva version for free, and there is a lot of functionality with just the free version. They will try to push the paid version quite a bit, which is fine if you do want to, but know that you can do a lot with the free version. The Canva Pro version is $119 per year. And so if you are wanting to, for example, get more stock images, or you're wanting to save a brand kit where you can save custom color palettes, then that might be something for you. And then lastly, there's Canva for Teams, but that might be something that would probably be the last one. I don't know that as a small business. I haven't seen many people needing that one. Now, one thing you just probably heard me mention is stock photos that are on Canva. Well, maybe you're trying to find a good stock photo on Canva and you're having trouble finding it. Well, you can actually use other places to find stock photos. Unsplash, Pixabay, and Pexels are 3 different places that you can get additional photos, and they're all free stock photos. So in addition to photos, there are symbols. So the Noun Project, this is another free tool. This is a website that aggregates and catalogs symbols that are created and uploaded by graphic designers around the world. This functions as a resource for people in search of typographic symbols. And so essentially what you can do through this is get icons for anything pretty much on this site. So if you're looking for an icon, you can come here and search for it and usually find a pretty good icon for what you're looking for. This slide outlines the various plans and prices and what you'll receive with each. So you can refer back to this later. Again, I tried to include if there is a pricing option or a different plan option, I try to include that on here so you can refer back to it when you receive the PowerPoint. Mixkit.co is a free gallery of awesome stock video clips, music tracks, and sound effects, and video templates. So similar to what I just mentioned with the free stock photos, this is essentially that, but for video clips and music tracks and sound effects. And you can download and use sound effects in projects that you create for YouTube, social media, or online marketing ads. Now, before you do that, you do want to make sure to read the license and terms to see if this might be of interest for you. But this is essentially stock photos, but instead of photos, it's video clips and music tracks and sound effects. Venngage is an infographic maker, so another free tool. And an infographic, have you ever wanted to generate your own infographic with stats and eye-catching graphics? Well, a custom infographic made from Venngage would be where you go. This is a really easy way to create those good visual infographics. And so this is another great tool. So we just finished talking about some free tools for designing content, but what about scheduling your marketing content? So Hootsuite is a social media management platform that covers almost every aspect of a social media manager's role. With just one platform, users are able to do simple stuff like make content and schedule posts, all the way up to managing team members and measuring ROI. There's several different plans that you can choose from. There's a single user plan, all the way up to a customized enterprise account, which most of you as small businesses probably won't need, but it does have a large range of plans, and you can start with a free account here as well. So Hootsuite is very useful for scheduling for pretty much every social media platform you have, and you can assign different users to it. So maybe you're not the one who schedules all the content, but you have a social media manager that you want to have access to scheduling all this. Hootsuite is great for this. Also, Buffer, very similar. Buffer and Hootsuite are some of the top ones that are used nowadays. And so I would definitely recommend looking at both because they do a lot of the same thing, and they both offer free plans to start. And so I'd recommend taking a look at both and seeing which one feels better to you. This slide shows an example of what a scheduling platform looks like. This one is Hootsuite, but essentially what you can do here is you can have a full-on calendar and schedule what you plan to post each weekend so that you can pre-post or schedule post ahead of time in an easy to look at manner and see kind of what you have coming up. Again, this is a Hootsuite example continued, where it shows an easy to use platform for creating the post, kind of similar to what you would see when you're on a desktop, creating a post there on Facebook or Instagram. So fairly easy to use and create. Now, the next tool I want to talk about when you're scheduling posts and creating posts is a hashtag generator. This example pertains to Instagram in particular, but it will provide you with relevant hashtags that you can use in other places as well. And what you can do is you can put in a hashtag and see what are good hashtags related to that you could be using in your Instagram posts or other social media posts. And essentially what it will do is you can analyze the photo and keyword or link that you put in, and it will help return some different sample hashtags of what it recommends you use. Again, this is free, and as with the other slides, there is a link to it here so that you can visit that. Now let's talk about some other useful tools. This slide discusses Google Alerts, which sends emails to the user when it finds new results, such as web pages, newspaper articles, blogs, or scientific research that match the user's search term. So, for example, if you're an artist and you want to see things that contain information or mentions on Joanne Smith's art, maybe you would enter this word, or maybe and then you can see, how many times it's being mentioned online. Or maybe another example is you want to keep up on trends in sustainable fashion. So you type in sustainable fashion, and it will start to collect content in that category and send you alerts on info or articles or what it finds in that category. Also on this slide, we outline how to set it up. So if you want, you can refer back here as a step-by-step guide on how to set up Google Alerts as well. Feedly is another robust feed reader that essentially collects information from around the web to one convenient place. You can use it essentially to view updates on any topic that you're interested in, whether they come from news, blogs, social media posts, RSS feeds, or other resources. So very similar to Google Alerts, and BuzzSumo is yet another tool that does a similar thing. Bitly, so this tool is a link management platform that allows you to harness the power of your links by shortening them, sharing and managing and analyzing links to your content. For example, I use it a lot if, say, there's a very long link that I want to put in a social media post, but it's very long and I want to shorten it. Well, I can simply paste this into Bitly and it shortens it for me so that now I can use that link on my social media posts. Trello. So Trello is essentially a place where you can organize work amongst your team. So it's a board with lists and cards that enable teams to essentially organize what they're doing on a day-to-day basis. This is what the board looks like. So you can essentially create columns with cards of what needs done, assign them to different people, and then you can move them from column to column depending on where they are in the process. So this is another great tool, especially for working with teams. And Trello just recently updated their plans and their pricing. So here's a screenshot of what's included with each that you can refer back to when you get this PowerPoint. Now, another tool is called Hello Bar. Have you ever noticed those banners that contain like a special message that look like thin slices across the top of a website? An easy way to get one of those on your own website is through Hello Bar. It essentially assists you in creating banners to draw attention to special offers. For example, if it says something like sign up for a newsletter here, or maybe it says, you know, special, or you get free shipping for a $50 order. You can create those all through this function, Hello Bar. And then again, here are the plans and pricings for this tool, Hello Bar, as well. All right, and then one more of these. So one more tool, Broken Link Checker. Have you ever been on your website or someone else's website and clicked on a link and it took you to a 404 error page or an error page? Well, you can actually check to see if there's any of those broken links on your website by using this tool. Simply by copying and pasting your URL here, you can click search and it will tell you if there's any broken links on your website, where they are, and then so that you know where they are and how to fix them. All right, so that is my long list of free tools in pretty much every category. Now, something that I get asked a lot is, well, now that I use all these tools, I use all these free tools, well, how do I get more followers and how do I increase my following? Well, first you want to make sure that all your accounts, like your Facebook, your Instagram, your YouTube, you want to make sure they're all filled out completely and optimized. So many people go in first to create their social media accounts, but they don't really fill it all out, or they forget to come back to it later. And so you want to make sure to go through all those and make sure your bio is updated, your image is updated, you have a username that matches across all platforms. Next, you want to be creating high quality content. Another good way to determine if you're creating high quality content is to do a competitor analysis and go look at others in your industry with very active and successful Facebook or Instagram pages, or very active websites, and see what are they posting, what are they doing, and get some ideas from that, and then go back to yours and see, is this something I'm doing? Is this something I could incorporate onto my social media or my website? Next, being consistent, making sure that you're posting on a weekly basis and not, posting 3 times this week and then none for a month. You want to make sure to be consistent. Next, getting others to share your profile, whether it's friends and family, or maybe it's getting connected with other organizations or businesses and getting them to share your content and your profile. That's another way. Now, if you're looking for anything else related to digital transformation of your business, we are a digital transformation center of excellence. So maybe you're looking for someone to take a look at your social media accounts and provide some specific tips based on your specific business and industry. We can actually do a social media audit for you and look at that. Maybe you're wanting someone to look at your current website and help you with evaluating how it could be improved. That's something we can also do. We can do a website audit for you. Or maybe you're looking to see, how can I start a website? I don't have a website, but I have all the content that I want to put on it. We can also help with that. So that's something we can also help with in creating a website. Now, if you're interested in any of that, please reach out to us at Temple SBDC. You can reach out online through our webpage and sign up there. We'll have that information at the end of this. Again, we have some upcoming training events here, but you can also visit our website for the full list of upcoming events. So this is the end, but I did want to leave some time in case you have some questions. I'll go ahead and go here so that if you want to find our webpage that I mentioned, so you can reach out to us, you can get that here. You'll also receive this PowerPoint slide and you can get it from there. Also, if you'd like to sign up for a newsletter, we do have a QR code here. I did want to see if there's any questions. I think someone in the chat asked, can you send a link? If you're asking for the link for our website, it is right here. I think maybe you asked right before I had switched to that. But then there's also a sign up link that Janice posted just below that allows you to sign up for those audits I mentioned. So if you'd like to go specifically to one of those audits, you can do that as well. The question on how to get a deck of the slides for this training, you will be sent that. That will be sent out, I believe, either today or tomorrow. You'll get the full PowerPoint of these slides, as well as a recording or a link to the recording.
Oh yeah, before we continue, just a quick one. In addition to what Cassie just said, I just posted a 30-second survey about today's webinar. Remember, we at Temple SBDC, we always cherish your feedbacks, given us, it helps us in improving the services we provide to you guys at a low cost, and it's also required by our funders. So can you take 30 seconds of your time to help out to fill out the survey I just posted? I might just go ahead and post it for the second time for those that didn't see the first time. Cassie, thank you. Okay, good. Wanted to say one or two things about question. Please feel free to drop your question on the Q&A or the chat box, and we will take it up from there.
Yeah, so I just saw one question says, can a small business sign up for free business accounts on various social media outlets, such as Instagram, Twitter, Facebook? And the answer is yes. You do not have to pay for a business account on any of those platforms. including some of the others not mentioned were like LinkedIn, TikTok, all those. You can create a free business account. I know that LinkedIn, you can sign up for a free business account, and then you can also sign up for like premium and other items as well, but there is an initial free business account that you can sign up for. And we do offer webinars on pretty much every social media out there, I think. So if you want, on our YouTube page, we do have those, and we do have some of those upcoming as well. And the answer is yes. Can the owner of the business account control what people post, be able to delete posts? Yes. So for example, say you have a Facebook business account and you don't want people to post on your Facebook page. You can actually control that so that only you can post on your Facebook business page. Now that doesn't remove their ability to leave reviews, but it does remove the ability for people to post on your business page. Can the account name for various social media accounts contain a numeral? Yes, it can contain a number. Yeah, so for example, if say your business name is Gigi's Cupcakes, but Gigi's Cupcakes is already taken on Facebook, well then maybe you can do Gigi's Cupcakes 1, 2, 3.
Cassie, I just had a question in the Q&A that I typed the answer to.
Okay.
Someone asked if there's a site or somewhere to print marketing materials at little or no cost. So I recommended that you could use Canva to create materials such as a brochure or a flyer, and then you can print it on your own or on demand. Another idea, if you don't want to print materials, is if you have a brick and mortar store or even on your website, you could create a QR code like we're showing on this contact us slide. And that QR code can take you to a newsletter, a brochure, a sale, a special event. So that's just another idea.
Perfect. Yeah, that's great. All right, I think I see another one. Would it ever be appropriate to advertise a small business offering services on Craigslist? I mean, you can use Craigslist to sell things, but I don't feel like it's like as professional as other places. And so it doesn't have the same like level of professionalism as like having your own website, or maybe, you know, I feel like Etsy even, I mean, it depends on what you're selling, right? But I think there are other ones out there. There is a QR code creator free site, and I can't remember the name of it. Janice, maybe you remember, because we did actually recently have a webinar on QR codes, just on QR codes. And I know there was.
Yes. Looks like Zaina, I just put down your name and I will email that for you. But one of them that I use consistently, it's called QR Code Generator. That is a free site and it's very easy to use. And you can create a QR code for a flyer, for social media, for your website. So again, I'll type it in here. It's QR Code Generator.
Yeah, and then Courtney asked, are people still using Pinterest? I think Pinterest is still being used. I think it's definitely more selective on who uses it. So for example, if you do recipes or you do crafts or things that are more like how-tos or maker related, those are more popular on Pinterest. If you're maybe a CPA, a tax accountant, you're probably not going to have a business account on Pinterest, right? Because I don't know what visual graphics you could show on Pinterest. So it depends on your business if it makes sense for you. But yes, Pinterest is still being used. You can sign up. Yes, so say you are a client with another SBDC. If that SBDC does not offer, say, an SEO audit or a social media audit or a website audit, and you need like one of those audits done, you can actually sign up for PadTap services because it is statewide offered. Now, if it is consulting that you're needing, you do want to stick with the SBDC that is closest to you because they're going to have the best resources for you. And so if it is consulting you're looking for, you would want to stay with the SBDC that is within your geographic area. And you can attend any webinars statewide, by the way. Yes, you can. Webinars was something you can attend statewide. Good questions.
Okay, there's one more question out there, Kathy. It says, in reference to controlling what people post, does this mean preventing people posting or also preventing comments?
Yeah, so this won't prevent people from commenting, and you do, because you do want people to engage with you on Facebook, but it'll prevent them from making their own posts. So for example, most people aren't going to post something mean on your business Facebook page, but maybe they posted a picture of themselves with the product they bought from you, and maybe it's just not the best photo, and you don't want that on there. And so you want to control people being able to post things on your site. And so you can remove that functionality, but it does not remove the functionality for them to write reviews. And it doesn't remove the functionality to make comments or to like your posts. Yeah, so that is something unique with Canva. I would not use Canva for making logos. You might want to use something more for that because it's not the best for actually making logos. I don't know a free resource to make logos. I'm trying to think of a free one. I don't know of an actual free one.
If I can interject there, if you are within the Temple SBDC footprint in the 3 counties we serve, we do have a creative clinic that is run in the spring and fall semesters through our graduate students, where we will develop a logo at no charge to an SBDC client within the Philadelphia region. If that is something you're interested in, then you can connect with us at temple.edu/SBDC.
Oh, I did not know that. Thank you, Janice.
Yeah, something that's
a really good resource.
Yes. If you're not in the Philly footprint, I would suggest that you check with your local SBDC. Many of us statewide, and there's 15 SBDC centers statewide, have similar programs for SBDC clients. So I would start there if you're looking for help with any of these services but are not located in the Philly region, except for PadTap. Our Pennsylvania Digital Transformation and E-commerce program is available to any small business in the state of Pennsylvania. Okay, we have another question. It's actually in the Q&A. Jessica's asking, is there any form of engagement that's more effective than others?
I think I'm struggling to understand the question. Do you mean like commenting versus liking on a social media post, or reviews on a social media post? Is that kind of what you mean, Jessica? No, I don't know that one is necessarily stronger than the other. I think commenting, just because it often continues the conversation more. It's the same concept of, if you ask someone a yes or no question, well, they can give you a yes or no answer and then that ends it. But if you ask an open-ended question, then they have to give something more than just yes or no, and that can continue the conversation. Liking is similar in that it doesn't really continue the conversation. So I would say commenting is more effective. So if you can post things that get people to talk more and comment more, that's usually better.
Well, that's all I see. Garba, could you post the link to the 30-second survey once more? We would love to have your feedback.
Yes, please. Okay. I am sure we've actually nailed all the questions that came up on board during the presentation. We still have a couple of minutes left. I guess I will just give 2 minutes to see if more questions will come up before we wrap it up for the day. So please, to our wonderful participants, if you still have 1 or 2 questions, 1 or 2 clarification, kindly drop it on either the chat box or the Q&A section.
Another question, do you have recommendations for a company that you would hire to build a website? Well, something we do here at Temple SBDC and through our PATET program, we can help build a website. You do have to provide the content and provide a lot of information for us, but that is something that we can do. I think Janice had already posted in the chat actually a link to it. But you can sign up with us to do that as well. Another question, do you see creating a YouTube channel as an important low-cost option? If so, is it labor intensive? No, it's actually not that labor intensive, and we do have a recorded webinar on YouTube, YouTube Basics, and there's information there on how to create one. I recently presented that, and if I would say you do have to think, do you want to create a YouTube channel first? Do you have good video content first? Is a good question. Before you get on any social media account, you should think to yourself, is this meaningful for my business? So like I mentioned earlier with Pinterest, if you are a tax accountant, you probably don't need to be on Pinterest. Therefore, you don't need to be on every social media account. You need to think of, you know, who are your customers? Where do they go on social media? Does my industry, does it make sense for me to be on this social media platform? And so you do have to think, you know, is it right for your business? A good way to test this is to look on social media platforms and see if others within your same industry are on that. So for example, if you are a craft instructor at a yarn store, a YouTube channel might be great for you, because if you look on YouTube, there's lots of how-to craft videos. And so that might be a great platform for you. If you don't have a whole lot of content that you can make for a video, maybe YouTube's not the best one for you. So the answer is it depends.
Okay, like I said 2 minutes ago, I can see on the chat box and the Q&A box, all questions have been answered. Before we wrap it up for the day, I just want to use this opportunity to thank each and every one of you for keeping it a day with us. Cassie and Janice, thank you for a wonderful presentation. Thank you, and do enjoy the rest of the day. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.